Think and Grow Rich. Written in 1937 by Napoleon Hill, it remains, to this day, one of the most influential books for building wealth. In this video, I will be doing a detailed summary of all the chapters so you can learn how to apply the same principles in your own life. Principle number 1, desire. Be clear about what you want. A long time ago, there was a young man named Edwin Barnes. There was nothing special about him. No money, no rich family, no connections. But he had one thing, a burning desire. He set his mind to work with Thomas Edison, not for him as an employee, but with him as a partner. Now, here's the problem. Barnes didn't know Edison. Imagine you want to work with Elon Musk, but you don't know anyone who knows him directly. He also didn't have the money to buy a train ticket to see him. Most people would have given up right there. But not Barnes. He jumped on a cargo train, free ride, and finally met Edison at his office. Edison later said Barnes looked like a messy guy that day, but he also saw something in Barnes's eyes. Determination. As if you could tell, this one's serious. So he gave him a shot. Just not as a partner, but a small, low-paying job, doing unimportant work that Edison didn't care much about. But that didn't matter to him. Barnes just wanted to stay close to Edison, so when the right moment came, he'd be ready. Months and years went by. Barnes's desire to work with Edison was big, but still, nothing happened. Only after 5 years, Barnes finally saw his chance. Edison put out a new invention. It was a voice recorder called the Edison Dictating Machine. The salesman thought it couldn't be sold. They were not interested in it. So Barnes convinced Edison to let him sell it. And sell it he did. He sold so well that Edison gave him the contract to sell it nationwide. And that's how Barnes finally became Edison's partner and a millionaire. So what made Barnes different? He was clear, crystal clear. He didn't say, I want a job or I want to make money. He said, I want to be Edison's partner. That's what Hill calls a definite purpose. A goal that is so clear and strong that you won't stop until you achieve it. So here's my question for you. What exactly do you want? I know you want to be rich, but how much do you want? Hill gives these 6 simple steps. Number 1, decide the exact amount of money you want, not more money, but a real number. Number 2, decide what you'll give in return. What service or product will you offer? If you don't know, leave this for now. Number 3, set a deadline. When do you want to hit this goal? Number 4, make a plan. Even if it's rough, start now. Number 5, write it all down. Number 6, read it out loud every morning and night. Picture it like it's already yours. Here's an example. By January 2026, I'll have $50,000 saved. I'll earn it by building my business to $10,000 a month. In return, I'll serve my clients the best I can through my digital marketing agency. Principle number 2, faith. Believe you can get it. A long time ago, Hill had a newborn son, born without ears. The doctor said he'd never hear or speak, but Hill refused to accept that. In his mind, his son would hear and speak. So he reminded himself every day that his son should not be a deaf mute. But his desire alone was not enough. Hill knew he had to plant the same belief into his boy's mind. But how? His son couldn't hear. However, one day, Hill discovered something. His son could hear him when he spoke with his lips touching the area where his ear should be. The boy even tried to speak. Hill was very happy with that progress. Knowing his son could now hear him, Hill began telling him bedtime stories. He created those stories to spark in him the desire to listen and speak like a normal person. There was one story he told again and again, each time with fresh and dramatic detail. It was designed to plant one idea in his son's mind that his condition wasn't a problem. It was an asset. Now, here's a challenge. From all his research, Hill knew that every problem had a hidden opportunity. Yet he still had no idea how his son's deafness could be an asset. But he kept telling the story anyway. Look, Hill never sent his son to a special school. He was determined that his son would live a normal life. He also didn't let him learn sign language. In class, he could hear his teachers only when they shouted, at close range. Fast forward, he turned 18, and here's what happened. In his last week of college, someone gave him a new hearing device to try. He placed it on his head, hooked the battery, and for the first time in his life, he could hear clearly. He rushed to the telephone, called his mother, and heard her voice perfectly for the first time. He could hear his professors in class without them shouting. He could hear the radio. And here's the best part. Remember Hill's message in those bedtime stories where his disability could be an asset? And that's exactly what happened next. He wrote a letter to the hearing aid manufacturer describing his experiences. They then invited him to the factory. While there, he realized he could help millions of deaf people. After that, he spent a month researching and created a 2-year marketing plan. He presented it to the company, and they hired him immediately. And it was through his work he brought hope and hearing to thousands of deaf people. And that's how his disability became his asset. But the story doesn't stop there. Now, here's the most incredible part of all. After all of these events, a doctor examined him again. X-rays showed there was no physical opening from where his ears should be to his brain. Medically, he shouldn't have been able to hear at all. From this, Hill realized that nothing is impossible when desire is backed by faith. So here comes the question. How can you plant that kind of faith in your own mind that you can get the money you want? Hill says your mind believes whatever you tell it over and over, even if it's a lie. So repeat your affirmation from Principle 1 every morning and night with the feeling you've already achieved it. And if you're wondering how to feel like you've already achieved it when it seems impossible,